Let's talk Julio Rodríguez.
Yeah.
Because this guy, who I have been very vocal about being a superstar, I said it before the year that this guy is the definition of a super prospect. And then the year starts and it's like, this guy's pretty good. And then he goes on to be an all-star, the third rookie all-star in Mariners history behind A-Rod and Ken Griffey Jr. Then he goes on to have one of the best years. Then he wins a Silver Slugger. I mean, this guy is a superstar, and he was treated as such when he went home. Just a couple of days ago, now, I guess he went back to the DR, to the Dominican, for the first time since this season and winning Rookie of the Year award. And he was greeted like a hero.
Like
he
a
was
rock
given like a rock star.
Like full rock star status. The moment he got off the plane, got into the airport, in the car down the street, parades after, like, he is a local hero to everybody there. And you can tell he's having a good time with it, which you don't always get the pure emotion and the reaction from players when they get these big moments. But we saw it when he was surrounded by his family when he won Rookie of the Year, just how pure and honest and excited he was. And we got that same reaction in these videos that were on Twitter showing him going home.
He's what you just said right there is it's why I believe he is the future face of baseball, one of the faces of baseball. And you can see now, if you're watching in the wall, there's Julio Rodríguez walking into the hero's welcome at home, walking into the airport hangar. It looks like people are screaming. It was a rock star welcome. And you made a good point. Like, he was into it. He loved this. He was taking part in it. He was happy. He was playing it up. And I think when I say something like, this is everything you want in a face of the game, is there's so many baseball players. You covered the game for the Angels for 10 years. Baseball players don't show emotion.
No.
They don't tell you how they're feeling. They don't try and look cool. And I mean, they do in their own way, but they're not like publicly like, look at me on social media. Not that I don't want to say look at me as a bad thing. It's what baseball needs.
Yeah.
We should be looking at you. We should be looking at Julio Rodríguez because he's one of the brightest young stars the game has ever seen. And he's so personable. Look at this. This is the video of him. There was a parade down the street in his hometown. He's in a big SUV with flashing blue and red lights. I don't know if that's fair to do because those are police lights, and I don't know if he's getting a police escort here or if somebody just put blue and red lights in their car, so who knows about that. But he's out of the sunroof, waving to everybody, giving high fives to people, laughing, smiling, pointing at them, the Dominican flag waving in the background. This guy, Julio Rodríguez, is a hero in his hometown. He was given that welcome, and he is quickly becoming a face of the game of baseball, and I will start that movement. This guy should be a face of baseball right now, not the face. There's Aaron Judges of the world. There's a Shohei, who I also believe is a face of baseball, and he should be included in this because of his play on the field, his charisma, and the way he carries himself off the field. I certainly believe he should be.
What I love about Julio Rodríguez, and I've said this every time we talk about him, is just you can see how much fun he's having. Not only when he's playing the game, but here now we're seeing him really in the moment and enjoying the moment because he deserves every bit of this celebration, the accolades that he got. And this is what baseball needs. You touched on it. A lot of other sports have athletes that understand the social media side, right? This is where you're going to get a lot of the younger fans. You're talking to them. You're showing the behind the scenes. You're showing emotion, which is what we want to see. He's one of the few younger, bright star players that are actually doing that. And that's how you're going to bring in that younger generation fan base. You want to make it fun. You want to make it personable. You want to feel like, I want to hang out with this guy. I not only love watching him on the field, but he seems like he would be a good time just to hang out with.
And that's a game that I want to play. Look what Julio Rodríguez is doing. Hell, he's 21 years old. I want to be Julio Rodríguez. Right? He makes me feel like that. And that's what's special about him, his game on the field. And he was given that hero's welcome on the way home. Look at this. just look, the videos that have come out are incredible. I mean, look at this. This is, you mentioned like a rock star. If this video is him literally looking like he is a rock star. He's on stage. There's a crowd of thousands and thousands of people out in front of him waving flags. This is really cool. This was really awesome. And Hector Gomez tweeted this. Thousands of Julio Rodríguez fans celebrate his arrival in his hometown of Loma de Cabrera. Julio is seen as a hero by all of the people of his hometown. A hero. That's pretty cool. And the other day when we were doing, I believe it was the Cy Young show. Yeah. Right? That ended up being an interesting show for us because of, we didn't know AL would go second, so then we tried to time everything up that we had to talk about. But one thing I touched on there is the importance and the impact that the new CBA agreement is having on baseball and specifically this Julio situation, right? I mean, you go back, and it wasn't a very good time in baseball history, right? It's not a bright spot in baseball history, the lockout that we endured last offseason. But it's now showcasing its benefits. And one thing that it really addressed is service time manipulation. And I touched on this last week, but I really want everyone to understand how important this is because service time manipulation was a massive problem in Major League Baseball. The most infamous situation probably being Chris Bryant, right? When the Cubs waited, he didn't break camp with the team, though everybody knew he should and he was talented enough to. And then the Cubs waited the exact amount of days they needed to be able to conserve an extra year of service time for Chris Bryant, right? It's like, come on. But you can't blame the team there. No. That, like, is it the right thing to do? Like, more to the player? No, but if I'm running a team, I certainly understand it. Yeah. So it's time for Major League Baseball to step in and say, there's a problem here and we need to fix it. And I don't think it's perfect yet, but it was addressed in that CBA agreement, and we've already started to see it pay dividends. And with Julio Rodríguez as a good example, they brought up Julio Rodríguez. He broke camp with the team, right? He broke camp. He was on the opening day roster, and he won the Rookie of the Year award, meaning that the Mariners were rewarded an extra draft pick right after the first round. That's a great pick. Yeah. That's a big deal. And not only were they given that, there were other teams given benefits as well. The Orioles for calling up Adley Rutschman and him finishing second. They get benefits as well. So this is a big deal that I believe is really a good thing for Major League Baseball that people aren't talking about enough. And I think, look, had this new CBA agreement not taken place, would Julio Rodríguez have made the opening day roster? Maybe. There's no guarantee. And if he didn't, is he still Rookie of the Year? Perhaps. But it robbed us with, look, let's say this wasn't in the new CBA agreement, right? Let's say they bring him up a month into the year to save an extra year of service time. Great. He still has a good year. He's Rookie of the Year, perhaps. But is he still breaking records that we haven't ever seen from a rookie in his debut year?
And do the Mariners get to the playoffs and break their 21-year drought? No.
Probably
no
not,
way.
Honestly. He went 25-25 this year, which is the first rookie in his debut season to ever do that. He's not going 25-25 if he misses a month of the year. The Mariners squeaked into the playoffs as the 6th seed. There's a good chance they're not in the playoffs without a month of Julio Rodríguez, who was their team. Like, he's the heart and soul of the team already. So just wanted to clarify how important, and it's something that goes under the radar. Once that deal is signed, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. All right, let's get back to baseball. But a big deal here, Julio Rodríguez makes the opening day roster. He wins Rookie of the Year. The Mariners are rewarded a pick right after the first round.
I think another important part of all of this for the young players is the confidence that it instills in them too. Because a team is now able to be like, we believe in you. We're going to bring you up. We think you can do this, opposed to going up and down, maybe not coming up as soon as you can. And baseball's a mental game. And anything that can mess with your mental side of things and not give you that unlimited confidence that you need, that you know you deserve to be somewhere. Why am I not here? This isn't fair. There's so many other mental side of things that come into the game that I feel like this is just going to be an added bonus for all these young players who feel valued and feel believed in by their organization.
Absolutely. And Julio is just, I think, the most prominent example this year. But you look around the league, and there were Julio's a superstar. He may have gotten called up on opening day because the Mariners knew they needed him. But there are other examples that I truly believe probably wouldn't have been the case this year. Bobby Witt Jr. making the team, Spencer Torkelson making the Tigers team. That didn't end up working out right away for the majority of the year because, he ended up getting sent down. So he wasn't as good as they were hoping he would be, but he was on the opening day roster. Riley Green for the Tigers was going to be on the opening day roster, but got hurt. So you're seeing all of these guys with potential, and it just makes the game of baseball better for fans, right? You hear about these names and you're like, well, why can't I watch him? What are we doing here? It's just all around better for the game of baseball, and kudos to them for getting it right.